welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm going to be talking about soap ingredients, equipment, product reviews basically, and where I get some good pricing on things that I use in my soap studio. For instance, I just got a bunch of these little 1-pound bags of Himalayan pink salt. It's great salt for $1 a bag, $1 a pound. It was the best price I found at the Dollar Tree. And I'll talk about how you order that. You have to get it in bulk. Where do I get my olive oil? I'll talk about that, the pricing, and I ordered 2 new scales for my soap studio. We'll open those together and test them. I needed something that got really specific, like by the gram. When I do little things like I'm measuring out essential oils or making lip butters and things where I need tiny increments, the scales that I have are old and they were kind of not being as sensitive enough. So I got 2 new scales to test. We'll do that. What else do I have going on? I'm just going to take you around and show you some of the things that I use and where I get them and how to shop, price point things. And so we'll just get into the nuts and bolts of some of the ingredients and equipment that I use in the soap studio. So on today's video, I'm just going to flip the camera around and show you different pieces of equipment that I've gotten. Actually, I just broke my stick blender that I've been using from the beginning of my YouTube channel. I killed it doing a hot process soap. Anyway, got a new stick blender. I purchased a stand mixer. And so all of those things that we use in the soap studio on a regular basis, I'll talk about if you're a new soaper, what I really think that you should have just for beginning, if you want to get some soap equipment and not just use your kitchen stuff like I did when I first started. I just used my kitchen stuff. But if you're ready to start buying soap equipment, what I think are like the most important things that you might want to have, and where I source things, price points, things like that. It matters. I am very much a budget conscious person. I run my household on a tight budget and I run my soap studio on a tight budget. So I'll tell you where I shop for things, and hopefully this will be helpful to some of you. And if you are an experienced soaper and you have some tips that I didn't cover, please leave it in the comment section down below. Share with everybody. I love the soaping community. I think that people helping other people, we just lift each other up. There's room for everybody. So I'm doing this to share with you. You share back. It's all great. It's like a big hug, soapy hug. So I'm going to flip the camera around and let's start talking studio equipment and such. All right, so let's dive right into equipment first for soap making. And I think that an absolute necessity if you're starting a soap business, even if you're just a hobbyist, is a immersion blender or a handheld stick blender. Are the 2 different names, immersion blender or stick blender. This is my sweet old faithful. I've had this one for years. Oh, I got it all wrapped up here. And I killed it making my dual lye shaving soap. When it hit the mashed potatoes stage, it had already lost, there was like a little plastic thing in there that keeps it locked into place. On here, it's got like it's supposed to snap into place. Well, it doesn't. So the blender motor still works. I have loved this blender, but when I am stirring something thick going the opposite direction, this pops off really easily. So I'm kind of retiring this one. I love the color. I have loved the small, it's an ultra slim. So let me show you what I got. I had to get another one because I ran to Walmart and got a replacement one. I've actually found these on sale. It is a KitchenAid, but it is heavy. It weighs twice as much as this one, which when you're doing a lot of blending, that can make your arm heavy. But I love the color. It was on sale and it's got a nice strong motor. It's got variable speed at the top. It's a good blender, so I'm not dissing it at all, but I got spoiled to my very light, thin one. And I had to put a little marker on here. This, it has a magnet that kind of grabs and then you click it into place, and it's got a really hard click. Well, the good part is it's not going to pop off when you're mixing something really thick. I mean, this could tackle it. But the downside is when you're working with soap and oils, your hands are either wet or greasy, from the oils and butters, and it's really hard to undo. So like if I'm mixing a smaller container, this is too heavy to leave in there. This one was lighter. I could like lay it on the side of a lighter weight container and it wouldn't tip the container over. This being so heavy, if I put it in a small container, it would tip the whole container over. So it's really nice to pop this off and leave it in when you're mixing and set this off to the side. That way you're not dripping a big messy thing. It's just a small technicality. I have seen soapers that will just take the blender out and set it down on a paper towel, and that's fine. So this is a very sturdy, I've no complaints really, except that I was spoiled with my ultra slim one. So, and I got this at Walmart on sale for under $30. I think regularly it's like $35 or something like that. Pretty reasonable, and it's good sturdy, but I missed my skinny one. I looked and looked for the color, but I couldn't find that minty green, so I found this one. It's yellow. It's the exact same one. This is a Sencor, and it is a slim hand blender. This is their pastels collection, and so I got this one, and it's exactly like my mint green one, and it clicks into place really nice. And so I will be introducing this into my soap making projects. So let me tell you what I look for in a stick blender here. KitchenAid has a really big one. Okay, so there are huge, like really expensive, like $600 stick blenders. Ashley Marie, if you ever see her, she has a YouTube channel, but she's big on Instagram. She makes all natural soaps. She's gorgeous. Her soaps are gorgeous, and she has a really big industrial immersion blender, and that's a whole other level. She does big production. I do small batch. The height here, so where it screws on here, you can get oil up on in here, and you really need to clean it, keep it clean. But this is the depth. So it's, you know, that's a depth. So KitchenAid has a medium range, I think it's under $200, that has a really long, like a 24-inch, this is called the shaft, a 24-inch shaft, or an 18-inch. It's much longer. So this is a 9 or an 8 or 9-inch one, and so you can put it in a really, you know, deep bucket, and it won't get on up into the seam here and into the motor parts on there, which, you know, it's pretty closed off, but it's always nice if you can keep the soap below the seam level. Not a big deal. But anyway, if I do get another heavy duty one, I will try the KitchenAid with the really long shaft and see how I like that, but because it's a heavy machine. So for my regular batches that I do, that you see me do all the time in my standard mold from Workshop Heritage, it's a triple tall skinny mold. I love it. This size blender is perfect. Okay, here's my little see-through ruler. We're going to go from the seam down. It is 7 inches. Wow. Okay, and this one is 8 inches. So we've got 8 inches here, 7 inches there. But anyway, that's just something to think about. You know, Cuisinart makes a great stick blender. I think Katie at Royalty Soaps uses a Cuisinart. I mean, anyone will do. But this one is my preference because of the slim lightweight design. I'm older, I'm 55 years old, and I can get stiffness in my hands. So this works really well for me. So there is my stick blender saga. I'm going to retire this one. I was thinking about, because I named my multi-bar cutter, soap cutter, which I will bring out later, I'm going to name this one Minty and this one Sunny. So we've got Minty and Sunny, and you'll be seeing these two in the future on my channel. So let's move on to the next piece of equipment. All right, the next piece of equipment that I think is great for beginning soapers, hobbyists, and us advanced soapers is a hanger tool. And I got this. This fits my Essential Depot soap molds. It's a very solid, it's stainless steel, and it used to have a handle on it that came off, but it works great on my Essential Depot molds. I got this on Etsy years ago. I can't even remember the name of the seller that I got it from. You can just look up soap hanger tool on Etsy and you'll find several different people that make these, industrious people. Thank you out there, people, for doing that. But anyway, this fits my other mold. This does not fit my Workshop Heritage, and it's not flexible. So this usually stays over, you know, just reserved for when I do those other molds, which is not often these days. But what I do have is, this is a cable tie. And here's what they look like. Reusable rubber twist ties. You can find these at Walmart or Harbor Freight or Ace Hardware. This is what they look like in the box. This is a let's see, a 4-pack of, how long are these? Oh, two 24-inch and two 32-inch. So you want to keep in mind, you don't want to get the 12-inch ones or the 8-inch ones, or you won't have enough to bend. You need enough to hang on to, and you can bend these to fit. Here, I'll open it. You can bend these to fit any size soap mold that you have. So I just keep these at just, you know, not that this never runs, you know, gets worn out or anything, but it's a little flexible, so it's wonderful, and it's covered in rubber, so it's perfectly safe to use in your lye. It's not going to activate or react or anything. Aluminum is a no-no, but rubber coated or stainless steel are great, or plastic. So here, I'll pull one out. Let's pull out a gray one. Well, let's just pull them all out because they're being sticky. Okay, so they come bent like that, and you just straighten them out, and you go to your soap mold and you just measure where you want it. You can make it tall like that or small. So this is really, these are just great. I got this pack on Amazon. I think it was $5, and I got 4 of these. So this will last me like forever. I will never need to buy these again. So for $5, I think that's a pretty good bang for your dollar. And I recommend these for the hobbyist or the soap maker alike for doing hanger swirls, because you know I love my soapy patterns. This is how I get those. Doing the little circles in the body of the soap after you've done a drop swirl just creates those gorgeous swirls. You just can't deny, they're awesome. Another thing you can do, if you don't have these and you're making soap, grab a spoon, grab a chopstick, anything will do. And you just put the handle in and you go boop, 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 boop down the soap batter, and you can get similar to a hanger swirl with a spoon swirl. So these work fantastic too. So, I mean, grab one from your kitchen. This is probably the cheapest piece of equipment with the biggest bang. I get the best swirls for pennies, so love these things. So there's another piece of equipment. Let's move on to the next. Here are some random little fiddly bits of equipment that is a must-have. Eye safety gear, gotta get it. You just do. You can get cool looking ones, you can get goggle looking ones, any preference. You can even get prescription if you need glasses. You can get prescription safety glasses. It's a must have, non-negotiable. Get you some. Very inexpensive too. I mean, you can get these, I think, at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, any hardware store, Amazon, for just a couple of bucks on up to. You can spend as much as you want if you want really super cool ones. But I think I got these ones on no, I think I got these at Harbor Freight. I don't know, they were like $4, and they've lasted me for years, and they're not scratched up too bad. So as long as you can see through them, you're good to go. Safety glasses is a must for any soaper, whether you're a hobbyist or experienced soapers. Already know that. I'm preaching to the choir. But if you're just starting out, must have. So that's more important than your lye and your ingredients. Get your glasses. The next thing you're going to want is a thermometer. I scaled up and got this digital one, which is so nice. It's a point and shoot. I use it all the time you can use it for everything, my candles, my soap, just, you know, because it's not touching anything. It's fantastic. But it's like $25, $30 for a nice one, on up to $50 for a good point and shoot thermometer. So it's a little bit of money. For years, I used this. This was a couple bucks at Walmart in the kitchen widgety aisle, and it takes a while though. So it's just a little dial one. It's not digital at all. You stick it down in there and hold it, and it reads the temperature pretty accurately. But that's what I used when I started. I actually stole this out of the kitchen. So anyway, a good thermometer is going to do you good. It's just good to have, either for the hobbyist and the more experienced soaper. So thermometer. Okay, y'all have seen this every time I make bar soap. I use this to bevel my soaps with, so I love it. This is my little KitchenAid vegetable peeler. Any vegetable peeler will do. I like this one because it's a little weighty. Again, KitchenAid makes heavy stuff, like the stick blender, but in this I like it, and the weightiness of it helps me to get a really smooth. I tried using one of those little tinny potato peelers, and it kind of bumped around, so get something sturdy if you're going to do it. I love this. You can get like miter box type bevelers on Etsy. They're beautiful and kind of expensive, but this is what I use. So there's my peeler. You all have seen that multiple times. Another thing when you're making soaps, especially if you're going to do embeds or anything on top, it's good to have. I keep a bunch of wooden chopsticks. Again, wood is safe to use on soap with lye. Again, anything aluminum, don't let it touch your lye. Aluminum and lye do not play well together. So Wooden chopsticks are great. This is like a little barbecue skewer I got in the grocery store, you know, when it was barbecue season. I got a pack of like 100 of them. They're just great for, like if I'm placing embeds on top, I can scoot them around. Chopsticks are great for that, and also for cleaning the edge of your mold. You'll see me sometimes, I'll just run this around and it cleans up the side of the mold that has wet soap on it. They're just nice little tools if you need to do fiddly pokey things because it's smaller than your finger. I bought these on Amazon. These are actually like surgical stainless steel tweezers, but let me see. This one has a bent top. And so when you're putting like little teeny embeds on top or dried flowers or botanicals and things, these are nice. Or if you drop one in the wrong place, you can pick it up without messing up the whole top. So I have found these to be really helpful over the years. I got these on Amazon. I will try to find a link, but they were relatively inexpensive. I think they were around the $10 and $12 price range. And again, I'll never need to buy these again. So as far as investment goes, they're not going to wear out. So you buy them once, you're done. But I found those very handy. And also, like I pulled it out earlier, just having a ruler or a measuring tape down in your soap studio. You never know when you're going to need it. Sometimes, you know, to measure straight lines or to place your embeds a certain amount of space apart or something. It's good to have a ruler around. I think it's a must-have. So there's some little fidgety tools. Let me see what else we've got for equipment. All right, so more tools that you're going to want. And I'm talking about when you're trying to set up your little soap space and you're graduating from the kitchen to like legitimate soap equipment. This is kind of what I'm talking about today. So this is all soap stuff. This is actually overfilled. I need another one where I can have spatulas and whisks because sometimes they'll like get caught on each other and I have soap that's tracing and it can be like a panic situation. So I'm not recommending something quite this full, but this is currently what I have in my utensil container. I have spatulas, silicone, rubber, spatulas, wooden here of all different shapes and sizes. I have whisks that are either stainless steel or rubber coated or silicone. Again, all of these things are lye safe to use. So this is my go-to bucket that anything that you see me using in a soap video came from this little pot. Here are my lye pots. I have several more, but these are just two that I grabbed. This is my small one. Usually when I do milk and oil, I don't need much water, so I have a small pot. And this little chopped up spatula just is my lye spatula. I just keep it in here. It's designated for lye. Here's my bigger one. I like this one. It's a little more expensive. I think I have a link for Amazon. It's a little bit of an investment. I think this one was, I can't remember, $20 range, but it's really nice because it has a very wide mouth. If you are doing a full milk soap, whether it's a home rendered oat milk or goat milk or coconut milk, and it's in a frozen state, you want something wide so that you can really work those ice cubes around. This is great for tall, skinny, you know, when you have liquid, but if I have frozen bits, this is my lye pot that I use. So I have more surface area when you sprinkle the lye over the top. So anyway, they both have different functions. They're both great. They're both stainless steel. Again, make sure it's stainless steel. Do not use an aluminum pot. So those are the lye pot. There's my little mass of stirring utensils, and very inexpensive. Again, if you're getting soap equipment, I got this bundle of wood handled spatulas at Walmart. I think it came in a 6-pack for like $3. So get you some soap equipment like that. All right, another great investment for your soaping studio is really good mixing containers. These are polypropylene short form containers, and they are they're made for laboratory settings. They're very sturdy. This one is a 5-liter one. This is what you see me mixing the bulk of my soap batter in. This fits, for me, my size batch that fills one of my Workshop Heritage molds. I can do it in this pitcher. And I love it because it's short enough. I can fit it in my microwave if I need to melt my hard oils. So this is what you'll see. They come in multiple sizes. Amazon has a great price. I have a link for I call them poly containers because polypropylene is a mouthful. So my poly pitchers, they come in several different sizes, and they are very soap safe, lye safe. They're a great great container to have on board. I also got, and so those are from Amazon. These are from Webstaurant, and these are also wonderful. These are not polypropylene. These are another type of plastic that is also lye safe. They're see-through. They have the measuring on the side, which is very helpful. This one is too tall for my microwave, but it is a 4-quart or a 4-liter pitcher, which is a nice generous size. And then here's a smaller one. Sometimes when I split off into, I want equal batches and I don't need to weigh everything, it's great because I can just sort of eyeball the measurements on the side on these. So these are from Webstaurant and they have fantastic prices. These are a little pricey. These are very inexpensive and very sturdy. The only thing that I don't like about these is the handles are super wide. And these have a smaller handle. For me, this is more comfortable. This is really big, but if that's not an issue for you, I think these are a wonderful option. So, and you can get them in bulk. The more you buy, they're cheaper at Webstaurant. So these are also from Webstaurant. If you go to webstaurant.com, in their, I think, food storage at top, you know, the menu, the food storage, you will just see a host of different sort of containers. These are just a couple, and you can get lids for any of these. They come in several different sizes. These are great if you're master batching. Like get a bunch of these and you can pre-measure all your oils and butters and put the lid on and just have them sitting off to the side. So when you're ready to make soap, you just grab a bucket and you're ready to go. So these are also from Webstaurant. Again, they have fantastic prices. I am not affiliated with them at all, but I do shop there. I got my curing racks from there, and they have some really excellent prices, even with their shipping. So Webstaurant. These, I found these big boys at Sam's Club, and they're wonderful. These are polypropylene. They are 6-liter, so they're nice and big, and they came with lids. A 2-pack of these at Sam's Club was like $9. It was amazing, so I grabbed a couple. I don't know if they're still in stock or anything, but whenever I go to the store, I always, no matter what my grocery shopping list is, in the back of my mind, I'm just looking for soap stuff. The kids tease me, I have soap on the brain. I really do. So I found these at Sam's and I was like, score, I'm grabbing them. I don't even need them, but I'm grabbing them. And again, these are awesome for master batching. I can measure out all my oils and butters, put a lid on there, and they can just sit until I'm ready to make soap. So Sam's Club also. So those are some of the containers that I use. Here is the super budget containers for making soap, and they are perfectly wonderful. What I have here are some mixing bowls from IKEA. I got for a couple of dollars years ago, but they're just plastic. They work fabulous. I got these at the dollar store, Dollar General or something, for like $1, and they're wonderful. Like when I want to split a batch, you need when you want to split your soap up and weigh it, you want containers that are exactly the same. So when you tear your scale out, they are the same for each one. It's very helpful. So these are great, inexpensive. They have a nice handle. I've seen soapers that just soap in these exclusively, and they're perfect. Very budget friendly. These, I get these plastic measuring cups at Walmart. The lye will rub the little red numbers off on the side, but that's okay. They are wonderful for measuring out small bits to color. This one on the bottom is what I measure my lye in to pour into my lye water container. This one is designated for lye. I measure the crystals in here. So I just have a ton of these when I need to grab something. If you've ever seen me do layered soaps, I will use these to mix up tiny increments to pour nice straight layers. They're great. These I got at the painting section at Lowe's. I think any hardware store has them. They're just paint buckets, and you can get lids for these again. They're nice size. They have measurements. This one's a 64 ounce or a 2-quart bucket. They're perfect for smaller batches of soap, or again, splitting up, you know, if you need to split to different colors. These were like, oh golly, like I think under $1 each, and then the lid was like 25 cents or something. Very inexpensive and really, you know, pretty sturdy. I've had these for years. So any hardware store will carry, you know, paint buckets like that. Another inexpensive thing, Dixie cups. A lot of soapers use these to mix micas and oils for drizzles, or if you want to pre-disperse your micas. They're paper, they're compostable and disposable, and so you don't have to worry about washing them. So Dixie cups are a great thing in your soap studio. And then I got these, again, in the kitchen widget aisle at Walmart. little anchor hocking. They are a Pyrex type glass, so they're not very breakable. They're sturdy, and these are wonderful to measure essential oils or fragrant oils. The glass, because it won't react with anything like that, or any small units. These are wonderful. I use these all the time. All right, here's my new stand mixer. This is a, I will call it generic, Wetty. If it's German, it's a Vetti. I don't know. But anyway, it gets the job done. This was very inexpensive. I got it on a it's got suction feet, which are nice, but I got it on a Black Friday sale. I got this thing for under $80. It was $79. I think the price now is about $150. That's still a whole lot cheaper than a KitchenAid. And so far, the motor is taking whatever I throw at it. It's doing really good. Comes with a splash guard, all the regular type beater things, and a nice manual. This is a 6.5 quart bowl, which I really like. It's big. I can do like a nice double batch of my shower steamer fluff in here, and it can handle it. So I've really been enjoying having a stand mixer. But I did go ahead and get, let me see if I can turn it there, get the generic one and not the KitchenAid, because I figured for $80, if I break this thing, I can get another one, and I'm still cheaper than a KitchenAid. So I'm budgety. I wanted to see if I loved having a stand mixer, and I do. So maybe someday I'll get a KitchenAid, but if this thing hangs on, I'm happy with it. And it looks kind of cute too. So there's the stand mixer. All right, I got my 2 brand new scales here. This is my old one. It's a Weigh Max, and I actually reordered it because I have been using this forever. It's great. It goes up to 90 pounds. Not that I'm making 90 pounds of soap, but sometimes I do double batches and I need really heavy weight on here. And I've just a couple of times now, the reading out is getting kind of slow, and I'm like, I'm trying to get like really specific grams, and it's not weighing, and I'm having to take out and put in, and I don't know. I feel like it might be getting old. So I ordered another one because I've been very happy with that, but I also ordered this one. I've seen a lot of soapers using this scale. This one has been very popular amongst soapers, so I figured I'd give it a try. And it was a little more expensive than this one, so I'm hoping it's good. It doesn't go up to as high of a weight as this one, but again, that's not super necessary. The reason I'm getting it is because I need tiny increments. Like when I'm measuring essential oils or just a tiny bit of beeswax pastellis, and I just, I'm trying to get that 3 grams of something, and you can't get it won't register. It's frustrating. So let's see. I've never gotten one of these before. You're with me? Let's open it up. So I think it comes, it comes with an AC adapter so you can plug it in. I think it also has battery capabilities. Oh, I'm going to have to put it together. Okay, there's assembly required. Let's get in here and see. Get this out of the way. I'll show you here. Yep. One of the things that I do like about it that I've seen the other soapers is it has this shield. That is really nice because this little guy here just gets gummed up, and I can't lift this up, and there's just stuff in there over the years. So I think this little shield on here is very nice. I'm looking forward to that. So let's see. We got, here's the pad. I wonder if you just, oh, this is so like me not to read the instructions. I guess you just set it on there. Well, that was pretty simple. Okay, so it has room here, I guess, for batteries if you need to take it. Yep, we've got room for batteries there. So that's cool. Doesn't have to be plugged in if I want to measure in the other area. All right, so there's this one that I opened. We'll give it a test run. And here is my new Weigh Max. That's kind of my favorite old one. So it's got the AC adapter, which is great. Oh, it comes with batteries. That's cool. And this was cheaper than that one. This one didn't come with batteries. Let's get her out of here. The other thing that, so obviously as a soaper, you're going to need a good scale. Please invest in one. You can get kitchen scales at Walmart. If you're just making tiny batches, those would be totally fine. But I'm getting more into specific Bath and Body products. And when I'm shipping, sometimes the difference between first class prices is like point, half an ounce can make the difference in a price point on postage. So I need a really specific postal scale for my shipping, because they will bean you. If you ship something and underpay, they will make you pay. Okay, there's my shiny new one. Look it. Okay, so here's my Old Faithful. Here's my shiny new. There we go. They're pretty much the same. I'm hoping this one holds up like this one did, because I've had this one for, golly, I'm going to say 5 years. It's been a good one, and I've used it a lot. So I'm going to try this one for the most part and keep this as a backup. Let me get this plugged in and give it a try. I want to see how tiny of increments I can measure on this one. All right, I've got my little measuring thing. I'm going to tear it out here. I'm in grams. Let's see if we can get it to register tiny units. Oh, 4. All right, so it is being very sensitive. 3. Oh, good. 2. Let's see if we can get it to do 1. This is where the tricky part comes. 2. Things don't like to measure 1 gram. See, it goes to 0. 0 to 2. That's interesting to me. Yep, 0 to 2. But that's still pretty good. I mean, 2 grams. That's pretty tiny. So I'm okay with that. Let's try the ounces here and see. We'll go to mode. And there's ounces. All right, tear it out. Let's see. Oh, it's wanting to register. Very teeny. Oh, good. 0.05. That's pretty light. So I like how sensitive this is. You'll be seeing this in more of my videos. I'm going to put this on my soap table here and put my new Weighmax over on my shipping table and do my postal stuff on here and my soap stuff on here, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. But that's pretty sensitive. I'm happy with that, and I really like this little protective shield. That's very smart of them to have that. I like that design. So, all right, there's the scales. Scales are a must-have for soaping, I believe, even when you're a beginner. Just a chicken, mercy me, not a chicken, a kitchen scale from Walmart or any, store will do. Amazon has great prices. This one was, I think, in the $50 range. This was in the $20 range. And this is what I had been soaping with. So I have these in my Amazon store link. I think they're fabulous and it's very affordable. There are even cheaper ones on Amazon too. You don't need even a $20 range. They have, because this goes up to 90 pounds. You can get like a 15-pound scale on there for cheap. But a scale is a must-have for soaping. I'm going to give this a whirl. I'm loving the size of it and everything. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of this one. Okay, last but not least in the equipment portion of this video, and I apologize, this is a very talky video, so and you see my hands a lot, and I don't have my nails done. Anyway, let's get to it. This is my standard size soap mold. It is a very typical size soap mold. This is from Essential Depot, and I love these. I've used them multiple times, but this just makes one width. You cut it, and that's how many bars you get. I can usually get 10 to 11, 1-inch size. Well, you can get 11 1-inch size, but I like to cut a little bigger than 1 inch. So standard size mold. Then I graduated to a slab mold. Anything that has more than one width of soap is considered a slab mold. These are both from Workshop Heritage. Really love the product. I'm not affiliated, but I buy these. I paid for these myself, and I love them. This is what I started with. My first one is a tall double skinny mold. So this makes 2 loaves of soap, and I love it. So that was my first step up from a single bar loaf. And then here is the one that you see in most of my videos now. It is a tall triple skinny. And so this does 3 loaves of soap, and I'm loving it. It's just, I think these are great. As I get older, I don't like to lift really heavy things. Sometimes my carpal tunnel acts up, so this is a perfect size for me. But I've seen they have bigger ones. I think Ophelia Soapery, she uses a really big one, and she's amazing. So, but this is the one I'm using. This is the one I'm going to stick with for most of it. So those are the soap molds, and now let's talk about soap cutters. Because once you make the soap, you got to cut it into bars. Let me show you my first super advanced soap cutter. Was a knife. You don't want anything serrated. You just want a nice smooth blade, and that's how I started. That's how I hand cut. I used my ruler and I'd make little nicks and measurements, and then I would try to press down as straight as I could. Sometimes they'd be a little wavy. That's how I started for the first couple of years of soap making. And then I actually graduated to, I don't have it anymore, but one of those crinkle cutters that you can cut vegetables with. It's got like a little wavy blade on it. I went to those. I loved it. But then I wanted to get a little more uniform, and I bought this on Etsy. This is from Bud's Workshop. He does metal cutters now. I think I got this a long time ago. This has been a workhorse. I've only had to change the string in it a couple of times. It's held up great. I'll probably have this forever till I retire. But my single bar cutter is just wonderful. And then this is adjustable, so you can make it as thick as you want. This little guy here goes on the end. If you have a very long loaf of soap, it supports the soap out there. So, you know, because soap for the first couple of days is kind of pliable. You don't want a big log to break. Like when I do my shaving pucks, I have a huge long tube of soap. This little guy comes in handy. So that was what I graduated to from the knife. And now, of course, my lovely Olga. And I have so been enjoying her. I got this custom made, and so it's Good Speed Soap Shop. Soap cutters, sorry, Good Speed Metal Soap Cutters is what it is. He's got an Instagram channel, and wonderful. So you get to pick your color, and you get to pick how many strings you want and how wide you want them. I had mine made at 1 1/4 inch, so 1.25 is the width between the wires on here. And this is a, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bar or 11 wire soap cutter with a 1 1/4 inch space is what I ordered. But you can do like a 1 inch, you can do bigger, 1 1/2 inch. So anyway, I am loving this, and I use it for most of my soaps now. Once in a while I still have to pull out the single bar, but this baby is worth it. But it took me a while to get to this. You know, I've been making soap for over 15 years, and I just got this last year. So you don't need all this to begin with. So just get it as you want it, as you can afford it, and it's wonderful like that. And as far as soap molds go, I started making soap in milk cartons. I literally would cut the top off. They are cardboard with a wax liner, so they peel really easy. If you watch my grocery store soap making, I do it in a soap carton. That was my first soap I made. So you don't have to get crazy expensive. And I graduated, my husband built me a wooden box that I lined with wax paper or parchment paper, was my next mold, and then I graduated to the Essential Depot ones. But you don't need fancy stuff to get started. So let's move on from equipment. So I'm moving on to ingredients, and here's some tips and places where I find some good deals. Really, you know, you can shop anywhere you want, but I found these at the Dollar Tree. This 1 pound bag, it's a different brand at Walmart, was $3.60 something. On Amazon, it's like $3 or $4. $1.25 a bag. You have to get 12 of them, but such a good price. I got 2 of these. This is a fine grind, you know, Himalayan pink salt. It's wonderful, and this is great in everything from salt scrubs to bath bombs to bath soaks to salt soap. I mean, I will use this up, and I even put a couple bags up in my kitchen. So, you know, things like that. Dollar Tree was great. You order online, and then they give you a date when you can go pick it up, because it's usually not in the store. But that was a great deal. So get in on that action. Olive oil. Let's talk olive oil. So prices on everything have been going up, y'all. We all feel it. The gas, the everything. The olive oil has jumped. Costco olive oil went up $10 for their 2-pack of stuff. So this is from Sam's Club. Right now at my Sam's Club here in Tennessee, I got this for $12, like $12.40, a 3-liter jug. So that was the best price that I could find, because there's no freight shipping or anything, just sales tax for me. So I get these. Let me flip you around and show you. These in the cases. I look like the crazy lady at Sam's Club grabbing my olive oil. There's just what I have left. But I go through it pretty quick, and it's a really good price. Here is my coconut oil and my palm oil. I get these from Soaper's Choice in these big 44 pounds. It's a 5-gallon drum. So those are just a couple of places that I bargain hunt. So obviously Sam's Club for the olive oil. soaperschoice.com is where I do get the coconut, the palm. I get my bulk shea, my bulk mango. Jojoba is a really good price there. Now the thing with getting, this comes in a big box in a bag, and I take it, and this is my shea butter, and I chunk it up and put it in here so it's easier for me to get to. I just prefer digging it out of here than I do the big, garbage bag that it comes in. It's kind of a mess. You reach your hand in there and it gets all over you. So I put it in this container for storage. The thing with Soaper's Choice is they have excellent prices, but you're going to pay freight shipping. So when I order from them, I like to do a big order. And like if I place a $300-400 order, I'm going to pay over $100 in shipping. But even when I divide it up, I still get a good deal on the final price per pound for oils from them. So they're a great resource if you're buying a lot of oils. If you're buying smaller units of oil, Wholesale Supplies Plus is great. I get my cocoa butter from them. They have really good prices on most of their stuff, and they also offer free shipping. They do have a handling charge. It's like $5 or $6 every order. But they have great sales. So I pretty much shop at Wholesale Supplies Plus when they have sales. I don't usually pay full retail. I'm a big sale shopper. So when they have a sale, I'll go in there and grab like the bags of cocoa butter. Their shea butter goes on sale. I'll get it there. So I'm not super like brand specific at somebody, like I'll only get somebody's brand. I'll get wherever the sale price is. That's how I shop. So what else is from there? Oh, I'll show you some packaging thing. This is just this is just the ingredient portion, just a few things. Of course, whatever your recipe is, coconut oil is a big one. You can get that at Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, if you're not making huge batches. I am not big enough, and I actually don't have a place to store the big drums, like the 55-gallon drums of oils. If you are big enough to do that, you can save quite a bit of money buying in huge bulk. I'm not there. I like the medium size. Those buckets are big enough for me. 44 pounds is about all I want to carry around. So that is the size that I'm at, but there is bigger options out there for larger batch production. So that's it for ingredients. I source them. My favorite sources are Soaper's Choice, Wholesale Supplies Plus, Sam's Club. Brambleberry will have sales sometimes. Nature's Garden has some things. Those are a couple of my favorite places to shop. Amazon, of course, I've gotten mango butter there, and jojoba oil I've gotten a good price on Amazon. So those are pretty much where I shop for things, other than the local grocery store. If I need something, I always have my eyes open for sales and things like that when I'm shopping. So you never know what you're going to find when you're out. Here are some packaging things that I get. These are from Wholesale Supplies Plus, what I'm showing you. And again, I just watch for their sales, and when things are on sale, I grab it. So like these are little boxes that you can put a 2-pack of lip balms in. When somebody buys 2, they just fold up, and they're just a really nice way to ship them so they don't roll around in the package. Grab those. They were a great price. These, I love these little boxes. These are 3 by 3 by 4. When you do it, it's a square. Well, it's a rectangle. Sorry. These are 3 by 4. Anyway, I package my shower steamers in these. If somebody buys, it fits 2 bars of my soap in there really well with a sample in there. So I would do first class shipping in these boxes. When they go on sale at Wholesale Supplies Plus, I grab them. They're very inexpensive. So these make a wonderful wrapping tool. I get these little glassine bags. And this is what I do with the little end pieces. I make little samples, soap samples that go out in every order. So when these go on sale, I grab them and this is what I put my samples in. And then here, some of my soaps, I used to do more of my soaps. This is a soap box, and I put my own stamp on there. They don't come stamped. But it's a soap box for a bar of soap, and it fits beautifully in there. With a window, you can smell it. When I was doing farmers markets, this was great because people could get a peek and they could smell, and it protects the soap in shipping. I do use my little wax paper things for most of my soaps now, or a shrink wrap, but occasionally I'll use these boxes just because they look pretty, and so it's an option. But again, I only buy them when they go on sale, and then I grab a bunch, like 1,000. So I buy in bulk when things are on sale. And I am not affiliated with Wholesale Supplies Plus. I talk about them a lot. I kind of have not a love-hate relationship. I don't hate at all, but they have the slowest shipping of anybody that I've purchased from. You'll put an order in and a week later it hasn't even processed. So don't buy from them if you're in a hurry. Nurture Soap, Nature's Garden, Be Scented, they all have great shipping. But Wholesale Supply Plus has great sales. So if you're thinking ahead and you want to buy in bulk and they've got a great sale and you're not in a rush, I think they're a great resource. But there are other soap suppliers, soap equipment and soap ingredient suppliers that ship a lot faster and also have good prices. So I really shop around. I don't have like one person that I shop with. I just look at everybody's. I get on all their mailing lists, and when they have a sale, I go check it out, and that's who I shop with. So that's how I do it. All right, so I'm just about ready to wrap up all the, different equipment that I use and supplies and all of that. And of course, I've got to cover Micas and fragrances because, this is soap making. If you're doing all natural, different clays, again, the distributors that I mentioned have great resources. Brambleberry has a beautiful array of natural clay colorants. Wholesale Supply Plus, Nurture Soap, Nature's Garden, you can get them in multiple Amazon, multiple places. So if you're going all natural, you're going to want to color with clays and powders, botanicals and things. Also essential oils. I like Green Health. I get them from eBay. They are based in Virginia when I used to live in Virginia. It's a nice essential oil for soaping, and they have really, really good prices. I think Amazon carries them. I also use Now brand essential oils, but again, all the distributors that I mentioned also carry essential oils. And I know there's some essential oil people out there and big companies. I'm not talking about what you're going to use in your diffuser or what you're going to use in a carrier oil on your skin. I'm talking about in a batch of cold processed soap that's going to go through the lye and saponification process. I don't use really, really expensive essential oils in my soap because of the saponification process. Plus, it's a rinse-off product. But that's just, it's a thing. If you really want to use your high-end essential oils where it's like $20 for a teeny little bottle, go for it. I think that's awesome. But that's where I'm at. You definitely don't have to do like I do. So let's talk about Micas really quick here. These are the different suppliers that I get from. One of my favorite mica suppliers is Nurture Soap. There are other ones that I don't have and I haven't tried yet. Mad Micas is one that I've been dying to try. Workshop Heritage, I got a couple samples from them, loved it. There are several mica distributors that I haven't explored yet that I'm going to. So this is not extensive, but this is just what I have in my shop. So Nurture Soap, and if you order refill bags, it's a little cheaper. If you order it in the container, it's more. Great, great micas. And they give you pictures of samples of what it looks like. Wholesale Supplies Plus, I use them all the time. Again, the sales, I can't resist a good sale. So that's another great resource for micas. What do we have here? Oh, this Be Scented. I've recently, this last year, been shopping with Be Scented. They have great sales too. And so I use their micas. What else? Brambleberry. This is a natural colorant. This is indigo. I have a whole range of their clays. I have yellow clay, purple Brazilian clay, rose clay from them. They're beautiful. I have this indigo powder, but they also carry a wide range of micas. So Brambleberry, I use them. This is Nurture Soap again. This is one of my favorite colors. I just put it out there because I love it so much. So those are what I currently have for micas right now, and there are other ones that I'm just crazy to use. I will be trying new companies also. And again, with the fragrances, the same companies basically, Brambleberry, great fragrances, and they give reviews so you can see if it accelerates trace or causes any issues. They have nice write-ups and reviews on their fragrances. Again, with Wholesale Supplies Plus too, they have reviews. So they review it and they take customer reviews. So if people have had a good or bad experience, they can write that on there. Love them. Nurture Soap. And one thing I love about Nurture Soap is they write on the bottle for you if it causes discoloration or acceleration or separation, any of that. It's already written on there, so I don't have to make my little Sharpie notes like I do. So I love that about Nurture Soap. Great fragrances, good write-ups, all that. And they do a really nice, accurate description on the scent description. Scents are hard to describe, I tell you what. somebody can smell the same thing and they'll each have a different reaction, but they do a good job of describing. Nurture Soap, again with Bee Scented, great sales. They have, so watch out for get on their mailing list. They have every week now a big 16-ounce bottle of fragrance oil will go on for 50% off. So great sales. I love it. I wish they had more reviews. That's the one thing that Bee Scented doesn't have right now, and I think that will they'll get more as they get bigger, but they don't have a lot of reviews on the scents. So once in a while you're kind of shooting in the dark with them, but it's worth it. Good prices. And then of course Nature's Garden. They're huge. They have great fragrances, great everything. The one thing Nature's Garden also has is they have a library of recipes, from cold process to whipped butters to foaming scrubs, everything. So their recipe library is a really wonderful resource. So they have great fragrances. So I shop with them. They have good sales also. They have a fragrance of the month each month with a really good price on it. The one thing with Nature's Garden is their shipping is really, really expensive. Like I ordered like less than a pound. No, it was about 1.5 pounds worth of products from them, $17 shipping. It's a lot, but their prices are so good. So what I do is I plug in the numbers of what I'm paying, the shipping, the tax and everything, and I break it down into ounces. And sometimes it's still, even though the shipping is crazy, it's a good deal. So again, I'm a bargain shopper, always factoring in the shipping and all that stuff. So those are the Micas and fragrances. Again, you could always make an uncolored and unscented soap. That's always an option too. But I know this was a long and talky video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if I missed anything that you were wishing I covered, leave it in the comment section down below, and maybe I'll get to it next time, or do a soap studio tour or something like that. But that is what I could think of off the top of my head for some things that you'd want for beginning soaping and advanced soapers, just what's going on in the studio, things that you see me using and all that. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.